Hello everyone and welcome to the Swift installation tutorial for prepared version 4. I can only assume that it is as much valid for the FSX counterpart. Okay, so before we do anything, what I would need from you is to go and visit this page, and it's called, it's a Swift project download page. You can find it, all the links we are using today, you can find those in the video description. So over here is where you download the actual Swift client. In the case of you're using Windows 10, which is a 64-bit, just click on one of these URLs listed below. Over here is the current beta version, and it's an executable file. In the meantime, also head to a website called FLAI, which is model matching for FSX and p3d made specially for VATSIM use. And this model matching is wonderful. It contains quite a lot of models, so when you are flying online you'll be able to see others. Once you download the FLAI over here, this will take some time. Make sure that you put it wherever you want and just download everything. Be prepared to leave the computer on for maybe 20 to 30 minutes, I think. Well, depending on how much internet, what's your bandwidth is. Let us continue. So, with that said, I'm going to click on exit here. Yes. After you run the installation wizard, make sure that you book in the simulator you are using. In this case, it's going to be prepared. It's a pretty straightforward installation. After the installation is completed, a configuration wizard, a first-time configuration wizard will open up, and this is how it looks like. Make sure that you agree to the Swift license and privacy policy. Make sure that you click on Enable Sending Crash Reports just in order to help improve the software. Click on Next. Over here, as you can see, there are numerous yellow lights, or there were at least, which states that the current databases are syncing with the Swift itself. Once these lights have been extinguished, two database lights are going to be marked in yellow here. So once that is done, this means that the syncing has finished successfully. Next step is to cross-check that the database count and the share count numbers are the same, except for the models tab over here. There might be a small difference between those two. Click on Next. Next version is basically that in the case you wish to copy models from your earlier Swift versions, you can do so here. We are not going to talk about this in this video, as this is a first-time install, so just click on Skip. In this case, this is the copy settings and caches for the Swift itself. Now, I already have one Swift installation, so I'm going to click on Next, but you should just click on Skip. In this window over here, what you need to do is you need to select the simulator versions you are using. Now, in my case, I'm using Prepared and I'm using Explain on my computer, so in this case both are boxed in. Below, you can select which simulator you wish to configure. In this case, it's Prepared. Simulator directory should be automatically listed inside this field over here. In the case it is not, make sure to click on this this blue button, I apologize, and just select the proper directory for it. Now, model directory is a directory that contains the AI aircraft, the actual models that Swift is going to use to display other online flyers and online pilots. Now, in the case of prepared, luckily Swift is automatically searching during the install after a couple of default settings. In this case it's FLAI, which we downloaded earlier, and of course the actual sim objects folder from the prepared version 4 itself. So you don't really need to touch here anything. Just click on next. In this window over here, now make sure that you don't overthink things. All you need to do is make sure that the p3d simulator is boxed in. You need to make sure that model directories are listed here. As you can see, it's echo for HDD, which I have, a hard drive on which the FLAI is located and downloaded in, and of course the prepared sim objects folder itself. During the first install, over here there are going to be a couple of models, if I'm not mistaken, but just don't pay attention to it. This field, model set field, is going to be empty for you. So what we need to do is we need to create a model matching that the Swift can use. Click on Create button. There we go. Okay. What you need to make sure is that, as you can see, I have numerous FLAI. Just make sure that all of this is selected and you have a couple of thousand models listed here. Once that is done and you have confirmed that you see a couple of models over here, make sure that you click on Save for p3d. Once that is done, click on Reload Models. And just wait for this aircraft config parser to be finished. And that's it. Click on Close. And over here you can see a number of models that Swift is going to use while you are flying online. Click on Next. Over here is nothing you need to pay attention to. Now, in the case you're using an older 32-bit version of Prepared or Flight Simulator X, you will need to install the FSX terrain probe. Now, I'm going to insert the link to this terrain probe itself inside the video description, but for a prepared version 4 and above, you don't need to do anything over here, so just click on Skip. Inside the Push to Talk field, you just simply click on Add. You make sure that this is the machine you are using for, and click on Press. Make sure to open up Voice, mark Voice, click on Select, and push the joystick button you wish to bind for your Push to Talk key. Once that is done, you simply click on this button and click on OK. If the configuration was correct, this is how it's going to look like for you. Of course, a different button name. And just click on Finish. Now, before starting Prepared, what you need to do is make sure that you click on Standalone mode under the core mode menu, you make sure that the dbus peer-to-peer server to computers is selected and click on GUI. So once that is done, this is a field that should open up itself. So this is how it looks like. What we are going to do is we are going to start prepared. And so once the simulator has been successfully booted up and you have spawned at your gate, you will see a pop-up called Model Validation for Prepared. Indicates there are any models over here that are wrongly placed or incorrect or I don't know, faulty. What you need to make sure is you click on this button over here, which will disable all of the faulty models for this flight itself, and click on close. Once that is done, the final step is to just cross-check that these three lamps over here, or lights, are marked in yellow. What they are saying is that you are connected to Lockheed Martin Prepare, the mapper is ready, and the audio is on. Once that is done, all you need to do is click on Connect. Now, I'm not going to do that today, but make sure to watch one of my other videos later on, detailing what these buttons do and how to tie flight plan and connection and stuff like that. Well, take care.